And welcome, my friends. It's wonderful to see you, and I'm so excited about today's gathering for us to learn together and to support each other as we are growing and evolving. This is a very exciting topic today. I'm going to be talking about resilience. I'm going to talk about how to overcome roadblocks in life. And of course, usually, and especially in the NLP world, we like to talk about those roadblocks in form of our beliefs. These are the kind of frames that we have for the world that might help us or limit us. And when they are useful and the beliefs that you have serve you in some way, then everything is cool and you just go rocking on, rocking on. And if you have beliefs that do not serve you, that do somehow create roadblocks for you, then I will be teaching you some strategies today and give you some thoughts, some insights, hopefully, that are going to help you to navigate and negotiate your beliefs that you might be wanting to change in a better way. So that's my intent for today's video and for being with you. Those are the resources I'm going to offer to you. And again, it's all going to be around the framework of resilience, because it seems like that's become a very important word here lately. The last few years have been very interesting for the whole world, and we are definitely going through some major changes together. And you cannot just have one day where there aren't some really big time news that affect all of us being shared. And wherever you're looking right now, I think people can really use a lot more resilience and learning how to negotiate life and the journey that we are on together. So with that being said, I would also like to ask you, what is your intent? Why are you here? Why are you giving your time right now and the energy that you are expanding and being here, the work that you're going to be doing? What do you want to get out of this time together? Think about it for a second. This is what I would like to have after walking away from the seminar. Perhaps it's an insight that you want, perhaps it's some new information that you would like, perhaps there's a very specific issue that you would like to tackle. So just give yourself a moment, breathe deeply, and just come up with an intent, a statement that is going to help you to set the framework for what we're doing here, that helps you to focus your energy and keeps you steady. Got something? All right, wonderful. I have an intent for myself as well. As I'm going into this new chapter, I'm also asking myself, so where do I need more resilience? Where would I like to grow and get more adaptable, dealing easier with change, having a positive, solution-oriented attitude? Where am I missing it? Where am I counter to those ideas? So that's something that you might ask yourself as well. Where would I like to be more resilient in my life? When I ask myself that on a deeper level, because of course I have some surface things, I want to be more adaptable here, I want to be more adaptable there, but that's more like behavioral stuff. I want to go really deep into where do I feel that somehow I'm stuck, where I'm still hammering that old view of the world, or that's how we do things and that's how they are. Okay, I'm going to go to healing. Bam. I want to become more resilient when it comes to physical healing. I want to open my mind to the possibilities, because I know those stories where people have overcome incredible odds, where people have healed diseases and illnesses that other people might have told them are not healable. Is that a word? And where they did overcome great odds. So I wanted to open my mind to even more of that possibility, so that I can send that information to my own brain, to my own heart, to my organs, to my whole beingness, and create a new framework for how I interact with health. So that's where I'm going to be playing at. And that might give you some ideas as well for yourself. It might be in the realm of health that you would like to become more resilient. Or might it be your finances? How about that? How's your attitude about abundance, about when you look into the future and imagine your financial well-being? How about your relationship with other people? Your closest circle of your loved ones, of course, starting with yourself, then your circle of loved ones, and then expand the circle into your neighborhood, your friendships, your work environment, your communities that you're part of. Of course, how would it be to be a lot more resilient at work? And for those of you who are already in retirement, how about your legacy? Are there still things that you would like to achieve? Contributions you would like to make? Ways for you to grow? So wherever you're at in life right now, and you might be a very young person right now who's just now getting started with their career path. You might still be in school, or you might have already completed that journey and have moved on to new projects. How would resilience help you there? Is it in relationship to your colleagues, the other people involved in your projects? Is it about project management? Is it about time management? Is it about getting what you deserve? Is it about finding happiness at work? Okay, you're getting some ideas? And then your overall lifestyle. Are you satisfied with your lifestyle? Do you look back at the end of the day saying, that was a wonderful day? I did the most I could. I did the best I could. I took time for myself. I gave to others. This is a fulfilling day. I'm grateful for the day I had. And do you have things in your life that give you pleasure, that give you joy? Do you have hobbies? Do you travel? Do you go out into nature? Do you have favorite movies you love to watch? Do you keep a journal? Do you go on walks? Do you make music? How do you spend your day? How do you spend your free time? Do you just veg around because you're so exhausted that that's all you can do? Or are there things that you're actively looking forward to, that theater visit next week, that special event in your neighborhood, something going on at an organization that you're part of? Are you contributing? Are you serving? So I'm giving you lots of different areas to think of, and I hope that by sharing that it does spark some ideas for you. So let's state that to yourself as a powerful statement. You can also say it out loud. I'm dedicating this time right now to the context, this area of my life. And as you're thinking about this area that you would like to dedicate our time to, start thinking about, how am I limiting myself? Why am I not as resilient as I would like to be? Well, to me, immediately, what I come up with is like, well, because I've been spoon-fed a very, very specific framework about how medicine and health works, and how a lot of it is dependent on other people and their input and what they're telling me and their diagnosis and their plan of healing. That's how I grew up, and that's what I believed in when I was a child and a youngster, until I got into NLP and I started to learn for the first time that there is actually a mind-body connection. And then throw in the spirit, throw in the emotions, it gets pretty complex. And I now have a completely different belief system than I used to about my ability to heal myself or to create a life of health and well-being. And so that old belief that I'm still feeling lingering in the back of my head is that there are certain things that cannot be healed, that there are perhaps stages once they are reached, it cannot be turned over. Even so, my other part of the brain says, of course, you can be on your deathbed, and if you want to change things, it can still change, and those things have happened. One of my favorite stories currently is this gentleman who healed himself, over 70 years old, from cancer. Being diagnosed with terminal cancer, he started fasting, he started doing spiritual work, now he's running marathons. Those are the stories that inspire me. Those are the stories I want to make my normal MO in my mind when I think about health, when I have a symptom and I'm going, hey, and I want to get into this super resilient mode with those wonderful positive affirmations. I can do it. It can be done. It is possible with the right resources, with the right strategies. That's what I would like. And then I can be open to the outcome, because I do believe in that as well, that the universe is going to do what it's going to do and that the right thing is going to happen. So, where are you going when you're hearing this? Where do you feel that you've lost resilience, that you've lost your adaptability, where it is hard for you to change, where you have thought patterns or even feeling patterns that you cannot change easily? All right? And of course, like always, I encourage you to take some notes and to really give yourself to the process, to the exercise that we're going to be doing together, okay? Give yourself the opportunity to immerse yourself, because then you are going to start to change your neurology just by listening, just by processing, just by visualizing a different kind of way. You are literally affecting your brain in that very moment, and you are creating new neural pathways that weren't there before. Or there were little tiny pathways that you have entertained here and there. Oh, wouldn't it be fun to create this kind of reality, and you're opening yourself up a little bit to it. And in that moment, your brain takes action, and it will represent it neurologically. And then when you repeat that thought over and over in your mind, and that's why powerful affirmations are being recommended by practitioners. That's why visualizations are being recommended by practitioners. That's why role playing, acting as if, forming your body, physically adjusting your physiology, so that you're sending a very powerful message to your brain. This is the reality that I'm holding space for. To use the law of attraction language, you are stepping into the vortex. You are making the vortex your reality. You are energetically aligning yourself with the possibility of what is already in the universe. It's already there. The reality already exists. It's just about you pulling it down into your physical manifestation. Because you are the conduit between the energetic realm and the physical realm. As above, so below. As within, so without. Everything that happens here physically had to first happen energetically. A shaman I studied with over 30 years ago said, it is first an energetic imprint. Then it starts becoming a thought. As we're feeling that thought more and more and more, it becomes an emotion that accompanies that thought. And then over time, it becomes a physical symptom. And you can reverse that track. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And there are very specific techniques that you can use that are going to make that path easier for you. And the first one I'm going to share with you right now. When you think about the kind of beliefs that you're having that keep you in a non-resilient state, that keep you stuck, that keep you vulnerable, that keep you in victim, please state that belief to yourself right now, where you feel stuck, where you feel you would love to be more resilient and you would like to be able to change it. So please state that to yourself right now. And the one that I'm choosing to play with right now is that there is a limit to what we can create with our thoughts, emotions, and actions in regards to health. Yeah, I would like to change that. I would like to open up my perception on that belief and see what happens. It's all an experiment, you guys. It's just an experiment. So please state that for yourself as well, in whatever arena you're playing with. Excellent. All right. And so the first technique, and of course, those of you who have been following me for a while, you've heard me talk about that because there's nothing new, you guys. It's just about remembering and using it in those moments when we need it. It's all that wonderful theory and the strategies and all this information that we have. And I know you have tons of information and you have lots of insights and you have many, many resources. It's just about matching it in those moments when we really need it and then being able to perhaps ask those questions. And the question I would like for you to ask yourself right now in regards to this roadblock, this limited belief that you have, this way that you think about yourself, life, the world, that's not serving you 100%. What is my positive intent for having had that roadblock until now? How has it served me? How has it tried to help me? How has it tried to support me? Because we did adopt those beliefs for a reason. Yes, I can tell you, usually it happens in early childhood. It's coping mechanisms. We see the world around us. We see how other people around us react to life, how they respond to life, the strategies that they're using. And then we make decisions. This is how the world works. And those are ultimately our beliefs. And then, of course, you know, I love to use the phrase the RAS, the reticular activating system. So that's another way to describe it. And that ultimately is the filter that is in your brain that all the information from the outside world has to flow through in order to then be processed in your brain. And only the information that matches your internal patterns can go through. So if I had experiences where I felt worthless, or I wasn't seen, I wasn't heard, and that happened a lot through my childhood, then I will form beliefs about I'm not worthy, I don't have value, things like that. And then in adulthood, all those wonderful experiences that life can offer us have to make it through that very specific filter that I'm not worthy. And then what happens is that the experiences in the outside world that prove that we're not worthy will get in very easily. And the experiences that actually show us that we are worthy will not get through that easily. And you've all been there, where people have given you compliments and you could not take it. People tell you something positive and you go, yeah, but people say something positive to you, you didn't even hear it. But oh, you did hear the criticism. That is your RAS at work. That's the beliefs playing full out in your brain saying, I'm going to let you in or not. And when you start to understand that and you start working with that, your whole life will change. And it all starts with that little question. So how has it served me up till now? Why would I have attracted this? Why would I have, in my infinite wisdom, in my soul, created this as my physical experience? You might have to go pretty deep to answer that question. And if you don't get an answer right away, just know that there is one. And you might have to dig a little bit, you might have to meditate over it a few times, you might have to talk with a friend about it or a coach. It might come to you in a dream. You might wake up in the morning and all of a sudden it hits you. The important thing for right now is that you know that there is a positive intent for what you did. So stop beating yourself up right now. Whatever that part is that is mad at you for having that belief, that sees the consequences that you have created in your life because of that belief, the hurt that you've given yourself and others because of your limited RAS, let that all go right now. Let it all go. And that's why this question, what is your positive intent, is so incredibly powerful, because it completely reframes your relationship with that belief. It was there to serve you. It was there to help you. It tried to do something good for you. I know it sounds so funky for some of you when you're like, how can this belief serve me? It did nothing but bad. That's because it was so covered up. So dig away. Come on, let's take all those layers off. And what is the core of that belief? What does this part really, really want you? And I'm going to tell you a secret right now. The parts are always trying to protect us and to help us. So please put that framework around that part right now that is holding the energy of that belief. So how does it serve me? How did it serve me up till now to have that belief that there are limits, certain things can't be done? Oh, well, what I just got was, well, it resolves me of the responsibility to really have to do it. And then I can say, some things just can't be healed, or, oh, well, there are limits to everything. I'm just human. I know. Also helps me to fit in. I know it sounds a little strange when people talk about healing things that might be considered terminal or chronic. A little cuckoo, perhaps a little arrogant. I'm afraid to get attacked for my belief system. Yeah, so I can see that as a positive intent of like, just keep it chill, don't go crazy, don't go out there, too much out there. So I can see this as a positive intent for my younger self. And funny enough, I immediately had a little story coming up because I was the crazy kid in school who talked to plants. And I remember being made fun of. Oh, she's talking to plants. Interestingly, always had the happiest plants. That was one of those cuckoo things where I'm like, do I really want to share that? Then I talked to rocks. I felt the energy of minerals when I was a little kid. Yeah, those were the things I didn't talk much about because I didn't want to seem crazy. So that would be my positive intent. Makes sense. It makes logical sense to me to say, yeah, I understand why a child would develop beliefs to keep her in the box so that she's safe, she doesn't get ridiculed, she doesn't get made fun of. And she also doesn't have to take the responsibility to really go for it. The emotional, the mental, the actions that can give her that beautiful health and well-being. So does that make sense to you as I'm explaining my own situation? And does it give you some ideas for yourself? So let's go into those different areas. Let's say you have something that limits you in your job. Something like, I just don't have the education to get the promotions I want. Or I can't land the job I want because of the education that I have or the lack of education that I have. How does that belief serve you? Well, then you don't have to expand. Then you don't have to take the risk for that new job. Perhaps you're comfortable deep down in your current situation. And then you don't have to take that painful step of letting the old go, creating the new. Change is scary. Perhaps that is your positive intent, why you haven't embraced that new job yet, that new career that you've been dreaming of, that opening your own business, whatever it is. Or think about relationships, that you perhaps have a deep, deep down belief that people can't be trusted. Let's go there for a moment. Why would someone have that kind of a belief? What is their positive intent for carrying that as their framework around the world? Perhaps they got severely hurt by other people. Perhaps they did get betrayed, especially by caregivers, by people that they needed to trust at a very early age. Perhaps they had horrible hardship, abuse, people turning against them that they trusted. Doesn't it make sense that someone would then create a belief, people just can't be trusted, people are not trustworthy? Makes total sense, doesn't it? So that is your positive intent, to protect yourself from further harm. Because, hey, If I can't trust people, I don't get disappointed, right? I'm staying safe. It's safety. And then the question becomes, is this framework still keeping you safe? Is it protecting you? Is it still ultimately serving you where you are at right now? Because are you still the 5-year-old who learned that belief? Do you still have exactly the same resources and framework of the world? Do you still have the exact same circumstances that you did then? Or is it time to give the 5-year-old the chance to actually grow up and to evolve? You have changed many, many beliefs over your life. And it would be really interesting to see some of those that you have truly changed. And where you know, yeah, I used to think that and it's not been an issue in forever. You have made the change and you can feel it. It is true. To you, it's true. And you're acting from it, you're thinking from it, you're feeling from it, and you're getting the results you want. That is because you have an alignment between your belief system and your actions, which then manifests in the environment. It's totally logical. And you can ask yourself right now, does this old belief still serve me right now and the chapter that I'm now creating in my life? So ask yourself that right now. Does it still serve me? Is it still useful, or do we need to tweak it a little bit? So I'm going to ask myself that same question. How can I tweak it a little bit? I'm going to use the word, it is my choice. I get to choose how I want to interact with that possibility of miraculous healing, of creating longevity, well-being, and health in my life in this incredibly unlimited way. Like the ultimate placebo. I'm going to give myself the ultimate RAS placebo. Let's see how this experiment works. So the new belief that I would love to walk out with today is I get to choose where I put the limits. I like that very much because that gives me the full range. And then, yeah, I can go to the doctor and I can go to the hospital and I can have my symptoms and whatever. And I can also choose to do my prayers and my meditations and my visualizations and all that stuff. So I can see it all working beautifully together. And then again, trusting the universe that the right thing is going to happen. And if the universe says, then I have another week to live and that's it, then so be it. And I'm going to have the best week ever. And you know what? If I'm supposed to be around for another 33 years, then so be it. Because that was actually told to me by a palm reader that I'm going to become at least 88 years old. Which is a very nice little belief imprint, isn't it? I know. So if you had experiences like that, where you had a very profound experience of someone giving you some information about, oh, yeah, you have really good genes, or, you know, like one of my students once came to me and she said, I was born lucky. My parents always told me I'm lucky. My family always told me I'm lucky. I'm just lucky. And she is. Things falling to her lap. I follow her and she's just living a wonderful life because she has an RAS of I'm lucky. My sister does it. We actually call it Glücksritter in German. You're a lucky knight, a lucky knight. Knights of luck, you can say. Our creed is luck, is joy. Isn't that cool to have a word for that? Perhaps we'll call it the lucky clover, the what else do we have? The lucky charm. I'm a lucky charm. I just have luck in my life. Imagine walking around with that kind of belief. I just have luck. I always have good luck. You know some of the beliefs I have shared with you. Things always turn out better than expected. Everybody respects us. We always connect with wonderful people. We always have wonderful experiences on our trips, those kind of things that have just become part of our ongoing natural belief system. So give that to yourself right now in the area that you're working on. Formulate that new belief. And of course, I would love it if you also put it into your comments. Because by typing it in, by sharing it, you're putting your stamp on it. It's like you're claiming it and you're declaring it. All right, you got that? And now remember, you're satisfying that positive intent, that safety that you're creating for yourself, that protection, that helpfulness that is at the core of that belief. So see how it all fits together right now. You're going from the old belief to the new belief, knowing what the purpose was of having that belief in the first place, and making sure that the new belief fully supports that purpose as well. So I want to make sure in my belief, my new belief, that I'm also going to keep that openness to the possibilities. And I'm also honoring the fact, because remember, it was about taking responsibility for it, and that was a little bit too much for me, that I am accountable. And that's where my part says, yes, I can feel that. So make sure that that new belief that you want to walk away with today, I can trust people. Life is good. I have all the opportunities in the world. It's just up to me to choose. I can do it. That it still fulfills that purpose of safety, protection, security, and helpfulness, compassion and freedom, gratitude, love, trust, beingness, oneness. Make sure that's all encompassed in this new belief. And I would like for you to go inside, go within, and just by breathing deeply, center yourself and just get a sense of where that belief lives in you. That old belief that's now transforming into a new belief. It might feel like a little tingle in your brain. It might be sitting in your throat. It might be in your shoulders. It might be in your lower back. Some people have their beliefs in their knees. I had people who had belief in their toe. Wherever you feel the energy right now, I would like for you to focus your attention on that part. And for me, it is my lower back. And I also feel some energy in my left knee that goes with that. So I'm just going to put my hands on that. And you welcome that part of your body. Thank you, my sweetheart, for being here. Be nice to it. Be gentle and welcoming. Just connect with those parts. Hold them dearly. Just imagine that. Getting in connection. Centering, focusing. And just send a big wave of love and white light. Gather energy from the universe. Let it flow through you. Let your vortex flow into you. All that beautiful goodness that you have put into your vortex. Just let it flow into you. Let it flow into your parts, especially those parts that are holding the energy of that part, that energy, that belief that you're changing right now, the neurology that you're transforming right now, the RAS that you're recreating right now and healing. Ah, how beautiful. And now we're going to do something strange. And I know for some of you, it might cause a little bit of resistance or not. And when you're ready, you will. I would like for you to apologize to yourself. Apologize to your parts. Perhaps you need to apologize to your brain for abusing it for so many years. Perhaps there are certain things that you're doing to your body that you know are not useful. Things you're doing to your emotions. Give yourself an apology. And wherever you're feeling the hate, the unforgiveness, the harshness, the hardness towards yourself, please infuse it with light. Infuse it with love right now. And this might be an ongoing process. So today we're opening the door. We're opening the gate. We're changing our expectation. We're sending out a new wish into the universe by doing this. And for some of you, this might be a longer process and you might get yourself into a good space with it. And for some of you, it is very, very easy to just forgive yourself right here, right now, and forgive your parts, especially if you've been mad at it. I admit I have a couple of parts that I'm mad at. My procrastination part, my part that likes to eat junk food and lots of chocolate when I'm in certain situations, and I totally know it while I'm doing it. I'm like, oh man, I'm doing it while I'm doing it. Oh, this is unbelievable. Why am I still doing it? Oh yeah. So lots of forgiveness for that part. All those parts in you that are stuck, that I have a tough time with change, that I have a tough time adapting, that are impatient and uncompassionate. Come on, let's give those big, big dose of self-forgiveness and love. Yeah. I would like for you to notice now how your relationship with your parts that are holding those beliefs is starting to transform. I mean, just talking about it, I can feel so much lighter already. And I hope that you feel it too, physically, that you're being uplifted. That your pictures are getting brighter. That the voice tone in your head is changing. Your physiology is changing. For example, I really feel that my shoulders are going back more. Again, I feel that lightness when I gesture. I always love that. I always know that's a good sign. When I'm floating on my hips, that is a wonderful sign that I'm in a great space. Whereas feeling all drudged down, or all of a sudden I'm feeling I'm being hunched over. So those are the physical aspects that I know that a change is occurring. The little words that I'm saying to myself, I know it's possible. Wow, this is going to be fun. Oh, I'm so excited to try it out. I'm going to give myself 30 days to really check this out. Ooh, this is a fun experiment. Can you hear the voice tone? It's excited. It is hopeful. It leads me towards solutions. And then the same with the pictures. I'm making pictures of myself aging, looking happy, moving smoothly, having fluidity in my body, stretching easily, being able to do yoga easily. I'm running when I want to. I'm breathing deeply. In the way that other people see me. They see the happiness, the joy in my eyes. They can hear it in my voice. They see it in my whole physiology. So that's what I'm visualizing in my mind. I'm making movies. I'm giving myself still shots. I might even cut out a picture of a lady at 90 years old doing yoga. There's so many wonderful pictures that I can now put on my computer screen, for example, on my phone, to remind myself. Little anchors. I can put a beautiful picture of a mountain or a tree or a waterfall. Those are all very powerful metaphors for me, for health. So you're getting some ideas for yourself as well. You want to make sure that you're creating strategies in your mind that are going to now promote the growth of the neurology you want. By doing this exercise right now, you are seriously opening a door, okay, to new possibilities. You are already changing your neurology right now. And now it is a matter of creating the practices that are going to keep you on track. And the most important practices are: what do you see? What do you hear? And what do you do with your body? Simply by changing your physiology, we now know that you are going to change your hormonal household, that you're going to change your neurology, you're going to change your access to your emotions, just by putting your shoulders back, by relaxing your wrists, by relaxing your jaw. I used to be one of those people who would clench their jaw. The second I would get in trouble, the second I would get criticized, the second I would get any kind of negative emotion, I used to do that. I used to have a clenched jaw. I had to go to the dentist because of it. I have years that I have not really done that anymore because I trained myself through practices to relax my jaw in moments of stress, to immediately go into shout. And that's why this deep breathing is such one of those powerful resources that I've learned to imbue more and more and more. And I can only recommend to you, if nothing else, become an excellent breather. Just by breathing in through your nose deeply and breathing out through your mouth deeply. And at this point, there is such a staggering amount of research proving that just by changing our breathing patterns, we can greatly enhance our emotional state, our thought process, our physical body. And you can do that research for yourself if you'd like to. And you need a little bit more convincing strategy about why you learning to breathe is so important. And make a deep belly breath so that your belly really extends. Even take a little break after the inhale and then the exhale. Again, if you choose to, you can have a tiny little pause afterwards. And teaching yourself the practice of deep breathing is going to make a huge difference in how you're able to take stress, how you're able to negotiate life, how you're able to deal with any kind of situations that come your way, and enable you to respond instead of reacting. Yeah. So just one thing, breathing, and that's a physiological thing. So that's a kinesthetic aspect. Then you want to start putting together a catalog of positive affirmations, of mantras, of the things that you say to yourself. We have thousands of thoughts every day. You are in charge of those thoughts. And when you start programming yourself to have a certain type of thoughts, that anytime something negative comes your way or you're observing something negative, you learn to say to yourself, it's all going to turn out. It's all going to turn out right. Everything is going to work out. Imagine having that available. And then in those moments when it really matters, the thought comes up. It's going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's going to turn out the right way. I trust that. I know that. It is practiced. The person who is able to be resilient right there on the spot, as a tragedy happens, as something deeply unresourceful happens, something that totally throws us off our path, you will see who has practiced resilience in their life because of how they will respond to the situation. Are they going to put their head in the sand? Are they going to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off? Are they putting their hands over their head going, I can't handle it, poor me, poor me? Are they the ones who jump right into action and start helping? Are they the ones saying, it's going to work out, everybody don't worry, it's going to be okay? Are you going to be a leader? Are you going to be a follower? What is going to be your MO in that moment? It is through practice that you're going to be able, in that moment, to respond a certain way. So give yourself the opportunity. Make a commitment to yourself and say, perhaps that is what this next year is about. Perhaps this is what this next chapter is about. I want to become more resilient. I'm a resilient person. I can take life. No matter what life gives me, I can handle it. I'm a deeply resilient person. I always bounce back. I'm just lucky. I always bounce back. Yeah, that's a good one. And practice means repetition. That's why we have those beautiful resources like have a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day. Journal in general. Write down your limiting beliefs and then flip them into positive beliefs that serve you. Do practices that help you to focus your attention, like meditation or prayer, going on meditative walks, doing any kind of physical exercise that helps you to focus your mind, any kind of musical activities that you can do, from listening to music, making music, singing, humming. I just watched the most wonderful video that showed the energetic imprints in beautiful geometric shapes that are coming out of our mouth when we sing and speak and hum. Wow, can you imagine that? It's magnificent. And that's what I've been imagining when I've been singing or running certain mantras. I'm now imagining actual beautiful geometric shapes emanating from me into the universe. Wow, powerful. Which is then, of course, part of the visual. So see yourself in compelling ways. Who are you becoming? Who are you growing into over this next year, this next decade? Who do you want to be? Visualize yourself. When I say that someone told me I'm going to be 88 years old, and I know some of you are like, oh, I can't believe she's talking about that. See, that's out of the box stuff. I'm like, oh no, they think I'm crazy. It's a wonderful belief to have. 88 is a great number anyway. And I'm like, hey man, if I make it cool, if I don't make it cool, I know I'm going to depart at the right time when my soul is ready to go back into the oneness. And until then, I can hold that belief that I have much, much to look forward to. I keep my 88-year-old in my mind. She's sitting in her beautiful chair with her clothes, her hair. She smiles at me. See yourself abundant in the living environment that you would like to create for yourself, the vehicle you would like to have, the job opportunities you would like to have. Put yourself there in your mind, role play it in your mind. Act as if in your mind, create that vision, because that's how you're downloading it into the vortex. And then through the repetition, it becomes denser and denser, and it comes around more and more and more until it starts manifesting into opportunities. And you meet someone who has some special information for you that you didn't have before. Someone who gives you an opportunity. You might tap into life circumstances that all of a sudden give you a new possibility. Because you've been manifesting it, you have been attracting it, you have been entraining yourself to that specific energetic imprint. Isn't that cool? So the practice is ultimately the gateway, the portal between the energetic and the physical. It is you and what you're doing with your mind, with your heart, with your body. The thoughts that you're sending out in the form of the pictures, the sounds, the words, and physical actions. All of that together with the energy of your heart. That beautiful feeling of joy, for example, which is my intent for this year. And actually, the word I've been using is joyful resilience. I know I like it very much, so I'm playing with that. That's my experiment right now. Let's see where it takes me. Joyful resilience. And I love when I think that word. My heart jumps and sings and loves it. Joyful resilience. Ooh, I like this. And I'm giving myself that now with that belief. So go back to your belief that you've been transforming, that you're now entertaining in a new way. Put that in your heart right now and feel the feeling that comes with it. Is it a feeling of gratitude and love and appreciation? Make sure that it's definitely on the positive scale. And you might have to tweak your belief a little bit. If it doesn't come with love, appreciation, gratitude, trust, oneness, and all those wonderful uplifting emotions, then you need to tweak it a little bit. If there's still apprehension, if there's still non-believingness, doubt, tweak it. The belief needs to flow over your lips easily. Like, I'm going to use it now. Joyful resilience. I have joyful resilience. It's normal. That's my MO. I love it. And that feels wonderful in my heart. And I feel a lot of excitement around it. I see a lot of possibility around it. Yeah, very compelling, very entrained. All right. So make sure that whatever belief that you are stating to yourself really gets that heart energy as well. And it's that cohesiveness between your head and your heart, ultimately, that creates the energetic imprint. See, you can wish from your head as much as you want to. If the heart doesn't support it, you're going to get mixed results. If your heart sends out something very, very beautiful and your mind doubts it the whole time, again, you're going to get mixed results. Having the practices of putting out your intent clearly and doing it with the emotional support, that's how you're going to create the most powerful results. Quickly, easily, persistently. And I have so many phases in my life that I can look back on now, saying, my goodness, here I was all stuck. And then I gave myself the opportunity to say, you know what? I'm done with the old pattern. I'm going to give it a shot and I'm going to go for a new pattern. And within days, the universe sent me results. Within days, the universe gave me glimpses saying, you're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. Someone showed up, gave me a little bit of an input. Someone sent me a video. Someone sends me a book. I'm opening my YouTube and I'm looking at some video that is being promoted. And it's like, that's exactly what I was just thinking about. The synchronicities, the coincidences start showing up. Somehow things look brighter, more colorful. I hear a piece of music that inspires me. So those are all those little signs that then all of a sudden start happening and I go, right on, yay, I'm on the right track. Let's do this. Let's keep going with my experiment. Let's see what happens. Are you ready for your own experiment, my dear? Let's do it, huh? What do you think? It's worth a shot. You can always go back to the old, okay? Hey, it's up to you. You have the choice. If you want to, if it doesn't work for you. And again, you can also tweak it. If you find a week from now, like, I don't know if I like it that much. Let's just frame it a little bit differently. Perhaps I can try some different strategy. My dears, wow, we did a lot. We really, really did a lot today. This is very deep work. This to me is the nitty-gritty, the true miracle of NLP. This is the core of NLP, that we are able to reprogram our brains, that we are able through strategies, pretty simple strategies, just by breathing deeply, by putting a smile on your face, by starting to rehearse certain words in your mind, by making certain pictures in your mind. And this is not humbug what I'm telling you here. This is truly deeply researched material by many, many different faculties. Look at universities nowadays and how they are stretching the boundaries on what we know. It's phenomenal. What we have found out about human consciousness over those last 15, 20, 30 years, it's spectacular. And the things that we are now willing to talk about that were completely taboo 15, 20, 30 years ago. Research projects that are so stretching our boundaries about metaphysics, where all of a sudden all these modalities are coming together and we're able to explain why it works. So take everything that I'm saying here with a grain of salt and do your own experiments, of course. Do your own research. I love doing research and just typing in some words and saying, hey, where does it take me? Or I put in very specific interests that I'm looking for, and then I get the information. I have people sending me beautiful journals. I have people sending me fantastic articles. Thank you guys for doing that, by the way. Love it, always love it. That then help me to deepen my understanding of what I'm talking about. My friends, I'm so excited that we're doing this together. You can watch this as often as you want. You can do this in every context of your life. The important thing is you acknowledge what is, you find the positive intention of what you've been doing up till now. How has it served me? How has it tried to help me? And then you can start with that knowledge of what the positive intent is, what the core of your part is, that belief. You can start formulating a new, more empowering belief, a new way of thinking about the world, a new filter around reality, your arias. And by starting to entertain that and then bring it into physical alignment with your body stand. You're not looking like this when you're thinking about an empowering belief. No, you can see that in someone when they are empowered, when they are in their higher self. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their gestures. So start molding your body in this new way of how you want it to be. Mold your internal dialogue in the way that you want to be. Mold your internal pictures in the way that you want to be. Mold your breathing into always being resourced with the life force of the universe that we call our breath. Create that cohesiveness between what you're putting out with your brain and what you're putting out with your heart. Do the meditations, do the physical practices that help you to be in a happy state. And if that means that you're putting on your favorite song that immediately gets you dancing, I have songs that I go to bed with, very specifically. I have songs that I play before I go on stage. And just listening to that song and dancing with it gets me into such a state that totally gets me ready to go in front of a huge crowd and be enthusiastic and have fun just by listening to a song. So you can get yourself very excited and you can also calm yourself down. You can deal with grief. You can deal with worry. I have a whole catalog of videos that I've downloaded that are for meditation, that are certain mantras, different cultures, different messages. I have my techno, of course. You know I love my techno. Oh man, I was driving somewhere the other day and the radio was just rocking. It was awesome. And I was technoing the whole way there. It was about a half-hour drive. I was so happy when I got to my destination, simply through the music I was dealing with. It was the perfect beat. It was the perfect soundscape that I love. Oh my God, it was awesome. And I was just like, I'm not like that. Simply by listening to music. So music is a super powerful tool, okay? Gratitude journal, watching movies, taking walks, admiring a plant, playing with a baby, anything goes. So you find your own methods, find your own strategies, find your happy makers, find your resilience makers, so that you have choice about how you feel. All right? So for today, I'm going to wrap it up. Of course, we're going to see each other next week again. I'm super excited about that. And we will go deeper into the healing work and how to deal with roadblocks, especially when they are very specific experiences that happened in your life in the past, and how to heal those. Okay, so we have more work to do, and I think we took a huge step today, and I'm super happy that we did it together. I'm here to support you. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm looking very much forward to connecting with you again. Have an awesome day, and see ya.